Today on Focus at 4, we're talking about women in the legislature, particularly the Texas state legislature. Check out this photo. We got this from our reporting partners at the Texas Tribune. It's from about a year ago. It's a group of women gathered on the Senate floor because they had broken a legislative record, the most women in the upper chamber ever. That record-breaking number, 8 out of 31 seats. Now that number has dropped to 7 after one female senator retired. Compared to the other states in the union, Texas ranks 37th in female representation in state legislatures. Of course, the other statistic that has caused some concern is 50%, as in, or rather more than 50%, as in women make up more than half the state's population. However, their counterparts in the legislature make up less than 1/5. And now with filings closed for the 2016 legislative races, even if all the women running are elected, the greatest possible number of women lawmakers is 55 out of 150. So there's only some hope for change here. But here to offer us an inside look at what this really means for our state is State Senator Lois Kolkhorst. She's a Republican who represents District 18, including thousands of our viewers in Washington, Waller, and Fayette counties. Senator, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to be here with us.
Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. First of all, where we want to start is just what your experience has been as a woman in the Texas Senate.
You know, certainly women are underrepresented as far as the population versus how many lawmakers are in Austin. And it does sometimes create some issues. I never wear that I'm a female on my sleeve, that we're underrepresented in any way, form, or fashion, because I'm there to do a job and give a voice to the people that I represent. But certainly you have to be mindful of things. You know, I plan what I wear. I make sure that if I go to dinner, I'm not the only female at the dinner table. Things like that present its, you know, challenges, but it's not completely unlike, I would say, the corporate world as well.
I think you're right about that, and I'm interested to hear you say these things about what you wear and what other women are going to be there. Those aren't reactions that I expected. When you hear these low numbers for women in the Texas legislature, obviously not a surprise to you as it may be to some, but how does it make you feel, especially in comparison our 37th ranking with the other 50 states?
Well, I think that I have a huge responsibility. You know, being a mother, a businesswoman, a wife, a community leader in where I've grown up, I had a very strong mother as well. So I know the voice of a female can be very strong and powerful, but you also have to be selective of when you use that. You know, being a female, we are caregivers and we tend to talk more. We go into more detail than our male counterparts. And you have to be careful that you don't do it too often, because you can lose them sometimes when you're making your point. So it's a balance of making sure that you know the voice that you have to have, not just for female, but for your constituents. I take all the experiences that I've had in my life. I was a college athlete and competed in that role. And so I'm pretty tough. My mother was somewhat of a pioneer woman, and I take that, but yet you still can't have quite the edge. You know, there is a double standard. A tough woman sometimes is referred to in a not so favorable way, yet a wishy-washy woman is someone that can be rolled over. So it's a very tough and delicate balance that you're trying to strike.
That word balance resonates so much with myself and with, I'm sure, many other women out there, whether in politics, whether in the corporate world, in any business at all. But I love what you say about it. It seems to be a very honest answer, and we appreciate that. I know it's speculation, but do you have any explanation or thinking as to why women in the Texas legislature, why there are fewer than average of them?
I do have some speculation. You know, I have to say that the day that I announced for state representative back in the year, I think it was November 1999, my daughter was 11 months old. At the time, one of my opponents said to me, "What are you going to do with that baby?" That was his first words to me as I was running for that office. And so, you know, sometimes we as females, again, being the caregivers many times, have that responsibility of the family. Many of us have careers, and we do a great job of balancing that. But that can be a hindrance is small children. I was fortunate that I live only an hour and a half from Austin. I have been known to drop my children off at school, go and chair a committee hearing, make it home in time to cook dinner that night. Now, I don't sleep a lot, and that's how I'm able to get that done, because we know that first and foremost, I am a mom and a wife, and I think that makes me a pretty good lawmaker because that's who I represent.
Absolutely. It gives you a voice of a lot of your people. And there again is that word balance. If this is a problem, if we're calling this a problem, how do we fix it? Is there any way to encourage young women and girls to be pursuing a career in politics?
Well, let me start by saying that I'm not sure it's a problem. I do think that we have to encourage females to reach for their goals. And I look not as a career in politics, because I think that's what's wrong with politics, is career politicians. When I have young people say, I want to go into politics, I go, great, go get a job, try to own your own company, sign both sides of the paycheck, and then run for office, because theories don't work in politics. And so I don't want someone going straight from the classroom into politics. But what I do want to say is that get involved locally, start to get your feet wet, and know who and what you are before you run for office. Give something back to your country. I really do visit with males and females, boys and girls, in classrooms, and talk to them about being involved in any kind of structure in their community, giving back, volunteering, and hopefully that will lead to more people wanting to seek public office.
Absolutely. So focus on what you're interested in, the issues you care about, and if it leads you to politics, hey, there you go. Senator Kolkhorst, thank you so much for being here with us. You have offered us insight that we obviously don't have ourselves into an issue of great interest to all of us, not just the women, of course. So again, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me today.